How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Detroit Lions franchise here on Madden 22. My name is Football Fan Forever, and it is time for one of our biggest tests of this young season. We're taking on the 4-0 Baltimore Ravens, led by the best player in the league in Lamar Jackson. We'll need to stay disciplined against the Ravens' read option run game because of what Jackson can do with his legs. So I plan to stack the box and trust our defensive backs in single coverage against the Ravens' wide receiver core. If that doesn't work, we could be in for a long game against the Ravens. Despite a really solid linebacker tandem in D'Angelo Carmichael and George Towns, we've had the worst ranked run defense in the league through the first quarter of the season. Throw in the fact that the Ravens have 3 starting caliber running backs on their roster in Tony Pollard, J.K. Dobbins, and Gus Edwards. This could be a challenging game for our defense, and we'll need our front 7 to step up if we want a chance of slowing down Baltimore's offense. Our own offense can also help control the pace of the game by sustaining drives, draining the clock, and in general forcing the Ravens to play from behind where they're less likely to run the ball. The challenge for the Lions, however, will be doing that without top wide receiver Christian Kirk, who dislocated his wrist in this past week's practice and is being held out of today's game. We haven't exactly been a prolific passing offense throughout this series, but missing our number 1 wideout against a defense led by cornerback Marlon Humphrey is not what I was hoping for heading into this matchup. But it will be our offense that we see first on the field as Justin Tucker gets us underway here. We are at Ford Field. Lions elect to receive the opening kickoff, and it's Quan Sandridge crossing the 20 to about the 23-yard line before he's taken down. So out comes second-year quarterback Bob Hairston. 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the season. Not quite the sophomore year I had hoped after he led us to a Super Bowl last season. He still hasn't hit his stride and hasn't proved very accurate at times this year. He'll start under center, and DeAndre Swift will get the opening handoff, fighting his way through contact for a gain of about 9.5. It was our rushing attack that really made our Super Bowl win last season possible, so it's no surprise to see the Lions start on the ground. Now facing a 2nd and 1, Hairston drifting back, fires to the left, and Keegan Darby has that for a gain of 10 to the 43. Quintez Cephas lining up on the left side of your screen where Christian Kirk usually does. 1st and 10, play action. Harrison rolls to his right, sets his feet, fires downfield, and there is Cephas inside the 30 to the 27. Nice gain there, 31 yards to number 87. But now the Lions face a 3rd and 9 from the 26. 4 wide receivers in the game, 4-man rush. Hairston rolls to his right, no one is open. He's chased and is hauled down in the backfield. They're calling it a loss of 6 on the run, but it's really a sack. To make this a 49-yard field goal, right hash. Austin Seibert's kick is off the post. He doinked it, no good, and Baltimore will take over on their own 39. Lamar Jackson in the shotgun, and here goes Pollard for the first time today. Breaking a tackle, he's across midfield for a gain of 13. And that's what the Lions hope to avoid, is giving up big numbers on the ground to the likes of Jackson and Pollard. 1st and 10, Pollard gets the handoff again, redirects, breaks a tackle, and fights ahead for another first down. Pollard is quite adept at getting yards after contact, and he showcases his high motor on that play. 1st and 10 from the 27. Pollard with another carry, and he is right up the middle, not touched until about the 15-yard line there, and it's another first down for the Ravens. Detroit stacks the box, and this time Jackson calls his own number, and he is wrapped up, but not before he picks up 8 yards on the keeper. 2nd and 2. Baltimore already inside the 5. Handoff, J.K. Dobbins, and he is in. Side judge signaling touchdown. We'll take another look at this one. Plenty of dust around the goal line that's going to make overturning this difficult. As they're saying, the ball did cross the plane, and with no challenge coming from the replay booth, the Ravens take a 7-0 lead. They threw the ball once that drive. It was an incomplete pass. Everything else was done on the ground as the Lions head to the air. 1st and 10. Short throw to Hawkinson. He's got a step and a first down to the 35. Harrison opening 3 of 4 through the air today, and he will head under center for the ensuing first down. 2 tight ends on the field, hard count, nobody jumps, and Swift redirects, gain of maybe 2. And that will lead to a 3rd and 4. Harrison in the shotgun, bunch formation to his right. He's protected, fires short, and that is deflected before it can even get to Deshaun Peoples. As out comes Jack Fox and the punting units. Not the start you want if you are Detroit here, as they have to send this one away. No points on their first 2 drives. But this is a nice punt. Very good bounce from Jack Fox, as the Ravens will start this second drive on their own 7. Jackson in the pistol. He will hand off to Pollard, who is met in the backfield by George Chowns. One play later, it's 3rd and 5. Detroit would love to get off the field here with a quick 3 and out. Jackson gets rid of it quickly, and there is Mark Andrews to the 20-yard line. He'll have more than enough for a first down, and the drive will continue. 4 down linemen here for the Lions. 2nd and 7. Here goes Pollard through a gap in the defense, and he's finally tripped up by Will Harris at the 44. Already over 70 yards in the first quarter. He is feasting on this Detroit Lions run defense. And the Ravens will head to the ground again. This time it's J.K. Dobbins tripped up by Dalton Logan after a nice gain there. As the Ravens are inside Detroit territory. Play action for Lamar Jackson on 2nd and 7. He will check it short to the fullback, and that will be another first down for the Ravens. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Jackson in the offset pistol. And he will call his own number. Break a tackle. Accelerates. This could be trouble. And he's tripped up at the 2 by D'Angelo Carmichael. So far, our game plan to try and force Baltimore to throw the ball is now working, as they are just running the ball down our throats. Just 5 pass attempts for Jackson in the first quarter. And at the beginning of the second quarter, he will take it in himself. From 2 yards out, Lamar Jackson stretching the football across the goal line for a 14-0 Baltimore lead. An 11-play, 92-yard drive with just a couple of short passes in there. Baltimore out 2 scores on top of the Lions, who have nothing to show for their first couple of drives. Drive number 3 starts with Deshaun Stevenson taking a swing pass for a gain of about 8, and shortly thereafter the Lions have a fresh set of downs. Play action for Hairston, rolls to his left, sets his feet, fires over the middle, and that is off the hands of Deshaun Peoples. Would have been a very difficult reception. And that will set up a 3rd and 9. Here comes pressure again. Hairston rolls, sees some green, and slides down across midfield after a gain of 16. Our quarterback can run too. Maybe not as well as Lamar Jackson, but he does have speed to make some plays like that. As J.J. Dunlap gets the call on first down, taking the stretch to the left side for a gain of 6. And on 3rd and 1, we will bring the fullback Kabinda and Jamal Williams into the game. And Williams didn't need much. He got 4. So the drive will continue as the Lions get closer to the edge of field goal range. 1st and 10. Hairston again in the I formation. Here is DeAndre Swift up the left side of the defense to the 26-yard line. 2nd and 1. Ravens crowd the line. Blitz is picked up. Hairston gets it away quickly. There's Keegan Darby for the touchdown. A strike from 26 yards out, and Darby just does what he does best, and that's yards after the catch, capping off a 10-play, 74-yard drive with a 26-yard touchdown reception to trim Baltimore's lead in half. So now we'll see if the defense can get a stop As there's a nice start, Chauncey Barker making a nice play on the read option, patiently waiting out the handoff there and making a stop behind the line to force a 3rd and 11. Jackson to throw for this one, blitzes Brat, and he is hit as he threw. That was Romeo Okwara just a half step away. Either way, it is a punt for the Ravens as our defense gets a stop and puts the ball back in the hands of Bob Harrison and this offense. 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. DeAndre Swift is met behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. It's saying 2nd and 10 as Harrison drops back, heads to the air, fires downfield, and that is intercepted. It's Mike House returning this one into Detroit territory as that ball was just late coming out from Harrison. He also had TJ Hawkinson breaking open too, so not a great read either. As now Baltimore with a chance to go back up 2 scores. There's a sack. It's Ifeatu Melifonwu on the cornerback blitz to put the Ravens behind the sticks for a 3rd and long. Jackson from the shotgun. Everyone going deep. He's under pressure and down he goes. It's Devin Woodson with the sack. Excellent coverage, a great contain by our defensive ends, and Devin Woodson notching his first sack of the season. Gives us the ball back with 3.5 minutes to go, and DeAndre Swift will have close to a first down there on a 9-yard carry. 2nd and inches, play action. Harrison escapes the pocket, sets his feet, fires downfield, and there is Deshaun Peoples at the 48-yard line with a toe-tapping catch on the right sideline. Time for 1-2 more plays before the 2-minute warning. We'll give this one to Jamal Williams, who has a lane up the middle and goes down hard at the 36-yard line. Gain of 16 on his 2nd carry as Harrison heads under center for the ensuing first down. Baltimore shows pressure. Here it comes. Harrison escapes, fires on the move, and there is a short catch by Quintez Cephas as Harrison gets that one away and we reach the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 4 after that short reception. Play action. Harrison with time. He's got Hawkinson inside the 10. 5 pylon. Give it to him. Touchdown Detroit. 31 yards as TJ Hawkinson walks the tightrope to tie the game up. Let's take one more look at this one as he stretches the ball out, keeping his body in bounds. And indeed, that is a touchdown as the Lions have come back from down 2 scores to tie the game up with 1:54 to go in the first half. So now we might see what our pass defense looks like here. Jackson throwing the ball. He is crushed on the screen attempt. Ball is incomplete. And the Lions have a chance to get off the field here quickly. 3rd and 4. Jackson to the left sideline. He has his man, but the clock will continue to run. And we haven't really seen much from this Baltimore passing offense. Jackson's been sacked a couple of times. He's been pressured a few more. And on 2nd down, he will fire short. Their catch is made by the tight end, who I think I identified as a fullback earlier. That's not correct. 2nd and 3 with just 17 seconds to go. Baltimore with 1 timeout trying to get into field goal range, but Jackson once again checks it down to the running back, and that will lead to a 3rd and 2. A 58-yard field goal attempt for Justin Tucker. Close your eyes, Detroit Lions fans. We've seen this one before as he drills that at the end of the half to give Baltimore a 17-14 lead. Doesn't matter where on the field he is, as I guess we've got time for one more play here. Harrison under center, and we'll go play action. This has worked out all right for us. Harrison with a man deep downfield. It's Peoples into double coverage, and he comes down with it. That catch only really good for padding the stat line, as we can't get another playoff with time expiring. But he absolutely mossed both Chuck Clark and Marlon Humphrey. I could play this clip on repeat if I wanted to. That's how good this catch is. And it's really too bad that nothing came of it because, man, that's a highlight reel grab. So despite the 17-14 deficit, we still have plenty of momentum going our way thanks to that huge catch, as the battle for first place in the NFC North right now between the Packers and the Vikings is going Green Bay's way. They're up 24 points over the Vikings heading into halftime. Speaking of halftime, it's a tale of two offenses here. Detroit moving the ball really well through the air, and Baltimore moving the ball pretty much at will on the ground. There's not a lot of separation between these two teams, and the game could go either way. Even without his 57-yard connection with Deshaun Peoples at the end of the first half, Bob Harrison is playing a pretty solid game, and he's thoroughly out-dueling Lamar Jackson through the air. As Jackson really hasn't taken any deep shots this game. That's actually his longest completion there, as he is averaging less than 5 yards per attempt right now. Maybe throws like that can help get their passing offense into some kind of rhythm. As Jackson from the offset pistol calls his own number. He's got a lane into Detroit territory, but there is a flag down, and so is the ball. This is recovered by Lamar Jackson, as the Ravens are lucky to get that one back, but the play is coming back as well. They got Tyree Phillips for holding. So 1st and 20, let's reset and try that one again. Detroit would rather have the football, but I guess we'll take the first down here. As there is Mark Andrews getting all of that yardage back and then some. Gain of 18. Baltimore quickly able to overcome the holding penalty. Now 1st and 10 from their own 46. Here goes Pollard, juking his way down to the 40. He's approaching 100 yards on just a dozen carries. Single high safety look for the Lions on 1st and 10. Play action for Jackson. He's protected. Takes a shot to the left sideline. And that is caught by Rashad Bateman. 23 yards. And look at this footwork on the sideline by the former Golden Gopher. There's one, and there is the toe drag for 2. It's 1st and goal, Baltimore. Jackson the offset pistol. He'll hand off to Pollard, working between the hashes, fighting his way down to the 2-yard line. Pollard goes over the century mark, and it's 2nd and goal. Detroit crying a line. Here comes the blitz. Jackson, and that should have been a touchdown, but it's dropped by Demarcus Robinson. 3rd and goal. 2 tight ends in the game. Hand off Pollard, and down he goes in the backfield. How do you not block Aleem McNeil? As the Ravens are forced to bring out the field goal unit for a chip shot Justin Tucker attempt. 22 yards, left hash, he is good. And it remains a one-score game, 20-14 in favor of the Ravens. Detroit gets it back, and their offense is now coming alive here. There's the best carry on the day for DeAndre Swift, all the way up to the 41-yard line. And now it's our turn for some offset pistol. Jet sweep to Deshaun Peoples. He doesn't have a lot of room, maybe a gain of 2. And that will lead to a 3rd and 4. Harrison under center, 2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Takes a shot over the middle, and there's Quan Sandridge with the sure-handed grab into Baltimore territory. Not a lot of separation there, but Harrison rifles that one to his second-year wide receiver, and he just gets this one away in the direction of Peoples. Heavy pressure there, as that will set up a 3rd and inches. And it's Jamal Williams picking up the 2 yards we needed to keep the drive alive. There's nobody better than maybe Derrick Henry in the NFL in those short yardage situations. As this broken play is coming back. Looks like a hold on the Lions here. They got center Frank Ragnow for holding. So that will back the Lions up. Now facing a 3rd and 11. Harrison in the shotgun. Stevenson to his left. Hard count. Nobody jumps. Harrison takes a shot to the end zone. And TJ Hawkinson has his 2nd. There's a proper spike. His 5th receiving touchdown of the season as the Lions take their first lead of the day on Bob Harrison's 3rd touchdown pass of the game. I think you've got to give Hawkinson the credit for that connection, though. He just made a great play on the ball with a defender on top of him. But now our defense has a chance to play with a lead, and with a 4-4 front against this run-happy Baltimore offense, we're able to make a couple more plays on Tony Pollard. Now trying to get one more stop on 3rd and 3, and the pass is threaded through to Demarcus Robinson. It's another really short throw for Lamar Jackson. He has not been testing our deep pass defense at all. And that's a lot to keep a lot of defenders in the box on plays like this. And it's Levi Onwuzurike making the stop, and that will force a 3rd and 4. Jackson in the shotgun. They're trying to set up this screen, but Woodson and Barker break up the pass, and the Lions will get the ball back here as we head to the 4th quarter. They're up 21-20 with a chance to extend their lead. But in order to do that, first we need to convert a 3rd and 1, and it's Jamal Williams in the game, bouncing off the tackle and falling ahead for the first. I think the only thing more reliable on 3rd and short than Jamal Williams would be the tush push. But that's not in the game, so we're going to continue rolling with Williams as it's DeAndre Swift getting the call then on 2nd and 10. He's up to 75 yards on 14 carries after a slow start to today's game. As Harrison heads under center for 2nd down, rolling to his right, firing on the move. Darby accelerating away from defenders, and he's finally hauled down after a nice catch and run as Harrison makes another throw on the move with pressure in his face. He's been much better in those situations this week. And we'll head back to the air. 2nd and 3, short pass. Dexter Allen turning upfield, and a flag flies down at the end of that tackle. It's extra yards for the Lions as they get Marlon Humphrey for the face mask tackle on Dexter Allen. It's goal to go Detroit. Through wide receivers to his left on 2nd and goal from the 5. Harrison against the blitz. Rolls to his right. Fires in the direction of Darby, and that is off the mark. 3rd and goal. That pass just a little bit too late to hit his wide receiver inbounds as Harrison rolls to his left. Everyone is covered, and he throws out of the sack to at least set up a chip shot field goal for a 24-20 lead with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. And Baltimore is going to put the ball in the hands of Lamar Jackson more often here. There's his 22nd passing attempt of the day. Still less than 150 yards as he's been reduced to checkdowns for most part here. And that is nearly intercepted. Tyreek Buchanan nearly came away with that one as the Ravens go 3 and out. And our offense gets the ball back with a chance to extend our lead and drain some clock. 1st and 15 after our penalty, but Jamal Williams doesn't care. Behind excellent blocking, he finds the edge on the left sideline and converts to get us a fresh set of downs. Now 3rd and 4 a couple plays later. Hand off to Stevenson, and he is dragged down right at the 41-yard line. 4th and inches. And the offense will stay on the field. Jamal Williams and Jason Kabinda in the game. Harrison hands off to Williams, and he breaks first contact and gets more than enough, no doubt, on that conversion there, as that will keep the drive alive, keep the clock moving. We're inside 4 minutes here, and Swift bounces off contact as well, but loses a couple of yards. 3rd and 11. So now, do you keep the ball on the ground, or do you try and convert here? Harrison wants it all. He'll fire to Cephas, who makes the catch at the 28 and is still marked short. And I'm not quite sure how forward progress rules work, but I think they made the right call here. Watch where his 2nd foot comes down. He's really close to that marker. So it's hard to say for certain where the ball was when he actually secured it, when he's counted as a catch. So we'll bring out the offense for another 4th and inches, and this time Jamal Williams will take it inside the 20 down to the 19. We're able to continue running clock to the 2-minute warning here in Baltimore. We'll have to spend some timeouts. 3rd and 6. 2 timeouts left for the Ravens. A conversion will essentially ice the game. Harrison with time fires in the direction of Hawkinson, and that is off the mark. Not sure Hawkinson would have converted, but Harrison never gave him the chance. So the Lions settle for 3 and the 7-point lead. As we'll see if Lamar Jackson can lead the Ravens to their first touchdown drive since the first quarter. We've slowed down their rushing attack, and inside the 2-minute warning, they're more likely to throw the ball. So we'll see how well Jackson does in the air. 1st and 10, pressure incoming, ball comes out. Philip Harden with the strip sack for a loss of 12 as the Ravens do recover, but it's 2nd and 22. Jackson, well protected, dumps it short for Dobbins, who will be tackled inbounds, and that will force the Ravens to take their second timeout with 1:20 to go. 3rd and 14, Jackson to the air, pocket collapsing, heaves it downfield, and that is intercepted by Tracy Walker. And he will have his fun returning this one into Baltimore territory as the Lions can seal this game with a first down. Baltimore out of timeouts. Jamal Williams in the game. He'll file Cabinda to the right side and turn upfield inside the 20, breaking a tackle. He is stopped at the 10. As the Lions will improve to 3 and 2. I guess we have time for one more play here to run out the rest of the clock. No victory formation here as they'll hand off to Dunlap, who will protect this one all the way into the end zone. So a little bit of insult at the end of that one. Detroit running up the score at the end of today's game. The game perhaps a little closer than these scores suggested, but we moved the ball really well on offense and outperformed the Lions in just about every category. Bob Harrison has his first regular season passing performance of over 300 yards in his career. Goes for 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, long of 57 to Deshaun Peoples. But we hold Lamar Jackson to just 137 yards and a pick on 16 of 28 passing, which is incredible for our defense. Our run defense wasn't quite that good. We gave up 166 yards on the ground, with a majority of that coming after first contact. But against a team like Baltimore, that's actually not a terrible result, and we were able to make plenty of plays in the second half that limited what they were able to do offensively. Having the cornerback talent to match up one-on-one with Baltimore's receivers and not really have any safety help over the top was really helpful. And that's one of the ways that James Bradberry has helped transform this defense. I don't know if we have the same success against the pass this year if he isn't a surprise free agent at the beginning of the season. Our run defense still needs some work, and some of that will come about with George Towns and Chauncey Barker continuing to develop, but our pass defense has been a borderline top 10 unit this season. Likewise, our passing offense has shown signs of growth. On a day where we were missing Christian Kirk, and on a day where we didn't get a whole lot of contributions from Quintez Cephas, we still managed to go over 300 yards passing. We got chunk plays from TJ Hawkinson, Deshaun Peoples, and Keegan Darby. And thanks to our strong rushing attack, we've been able to make defenses pay whenever we go with play action. What I also learned from this game is that Deshaun Peoples just needs more playing time and more targets. With Quintez Cephas kind of struggling, I might throw Deshaun Peoples into the starting lineup for next game and see how a passing offense with him, Keegan Darby, and Christian Kirk looks alongside TJ Hawkinson and Dexter Allen. It certainly is a faster group of wide receivers than what we've sent out in the past, and that alone might help when it comes to getting separation from coverage. But as we saw today, Deshaun Peoples is very capable of making some difficult catches. Now, I've been noticing that in practice as well. He's been making similar ridiculous catches from time to time and with more frequency than other wide receivers on the team, but practice doesn't always translate to a game. So it was really nice to see that happen in today's game because that gives me more confidence in him going forward. We'll be going up against a weaker secondary next week, so I'm curious to see if our passing offense can continue its success. We also saw Devin Woodson get his first sack of the season in today's game, perhaps a couple weeks later than anyone was expecting, but it took him a little bit to get started in his rookie season as well, with him missing some time with an injury. So I'm just glad to get that first one out of the way, and I look forward to him being a more consistent contributor going forward. We are still waiting on Chauncey Barker's first sack of the season, but he made a couple of plays today, and I think he's starting to adjust to the speed of the NFL game, and I'm curious to see how he continues to grow throughout the year. If we can get a little bit of pass rush outside of Devin Woodson and Romeo Okwara, we could have a really good defensive unit, as we hold the Ravens to 20 points and just 280 yards of total offense. A team like Baltimore is going to get their yards in on the ground, but we really locked down their downfield passing attack and held them to just 3 of 10 on third downs. We had a heavy focus on keeping Lamar Jackson in the pocket. I think I called quarterback contain on like 90% of our plays in today's game, and that had a marked effect on Lamar Jackson's ability to run the passing offense. We took away his ability to scramble, and then he just checked down a lot of throws today. We also defended a couple of passes here today, which, when combined with Tracy Walker's late interception, is enough for us to succeed our goal for the day. So our entire defense gets 2,500 experience. So lots of upgrades coming here at the end of the video, as I want to talk a little bit about the channel and my vision for this series. I do want to finish this season, and I know I need to pick up the upload pace, because the goal is to finish this season and by extension this series by the end of summer. I want to get the next gen console. I want to continue playing on Madden 24. I already have my team picked out for which one I'm going to rebuild, but I can't neglect this series if I want that to happen. It's been a very busy spring for me, and I can't guarantee this summer will be any lighter, but I just need to be more intentional about scheduling the time it takes for these videos to be made, because I'm still enjoying them. I'm having fun. It just hasn't been easy for me to carve out the time to play the games, edit the videos, do the narration, stuff like that. So that's just on me, and my interest in this series is as high as it has ever been. I want to bring another Super Bowl here to Detroit and see what we can do here in Season 3 of the series. Next up, we take on the Minnesota Vikings for a battle that is essentially for second place in the NFC North early on in this season, before an early bye week and a chance to consider if we want to try adding some talent at the trade deadline. We're definitely buyers as we hunt a second consecutive Super Bowl, but I'm not quite sure where to look for upgrades on this team. Maybe some more wide receiver depth, especially if Peoples doesn't work out in the wide receiver 2 role. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for today's episode, so like always, I will catch you next time. Have a good one, everybody.